galactic battlefield shimmered under the oppressive glow of three suns, casting long shadows over the ruined remnants of humanity's last stronghold. The air was thick with the acrid smell of scorched earth and metal, a grim reminder of the galactic soldiers' unrelenting assault. Their victory was absolute, or so they believed. Across the wasteland, the imposing figure of General Galactic, commander of the galactic forces, surveyed the devastation with a self-satisfied smirk. To him, this was the final nail in the coffin of human defiance. Galactic turned to his lieutenant, a wiry alien with translucent skin and flickering bioluminescent veins. "It's done," Galactic declared. "Their resistance is nothing but ashes. Prepare the broadcast. Let the galaxy see the cost of opposing us." The lieutenant nodded, his voice a mixture of awe and sycophancy. "Of course, General. The humans have been extinguished. Their spirit was nothing more than primitive bravado." Far below the galactic flagship, amidst the debris and chaos, a lone figure knelt silently in the shadows of a crumbled building. His hands, calloused and scarred, moved with methodical precision as he adjusted a makeshift communicator. Chief Petty Officer Jack Reaper Callahan, one of Earth's most decorated Navy SEALs, had survived the onslaught, though survival was a term he barely recognized anymore. His uniform was torn, his gear scavenged from the wreckage, but his resolve was intact. For Callahan, this wasn't the end. It was merely the beginning. He activated the communicator, static crackling to life. The device was crude, patched together with salvaged galactic tech and human ingenuity. "Command, this is Reaper," he whispered, though he knew no one was listening. Earth's command was gone, obliterated in the first wave of orbital strikes. But speaking into the void steadied him, reminded him of his purpose. Still breathing, enemy forces celebrating. They don't know they've missed something. In the distance, galactic soldiers patrolled the ruins, their armor gleaming with an unsettling organic sheen. They moved with arrogance, their weapons hanging loosely, as though no threat could possibly remain. Callahan watched them with a cold, calculating stare. Their mistake was underestimating humanity. Their second mistake was leaving him alive. He leaned back against the charred remains of a wall, the weight of his situation pressing on him. Memories of the final battle flooded his mind. The desperate cries of his comrades, the blinding explosions, the realization that retreat was not an option. The galactic soldiers' technology had overwhelmed them, their weapons far beyond anything Earth could counter. But Callahan hadn't fought his entire life to surrender in the face of superior firepower. He'd survived because he knew one unshakable truth. War wasn't won with tools. It was won with tenacity. As the suns dipped lower, their oppressive heat giving way to a chilling dusk, Callahan moved under the cover of darkness. He navigated the labyrinth of ruins, his every step measured, every sound absorbed by the eerie quiet. He slipped into the shadows, using the chaos to his advantage. He moved like a ghost, his training turning every step into a calculated maneuver. This wasn't a mission of brute force. It was a mission of survival and retribution. As he disappeared into the night, Callahan couldn't help but smile. The galactic soldiers thought they had won, but their victory was hollow. They had overlooked the simplest truth of war. It wasn't over until the last man stopped fighting, and Callahan was far from done. In the flagship above, General Galactic received the report of the explosion with a mix of disbelief and irritation. "A human escaped," he growled, his voice a low rumble. We wiped them out." The lieutenant hesitated, his bioluminescent veins flickering nervously. "It appears one survived, but he's just one man." Galactic's eyes narrowed, a hint of unease creeping into his expression. "One man is enough if he knows how to fight." He turned to the command console, issuing orders to track and eliminate the escapee. But deep down, a sliver of doubt began to take root. Humanity had proven stubborn before. Perhaps this time, they had underestimated more than just technology. Perhaps they had underestimated the human spirit. As the galactic forces scrambled to respond, Callahan faded into the ruins, his mind already working on the next step. This wasn't just about survival anymore. This was about showing the galaxy that humanity wasn't beaten. Not yet. The fight was far from over. and Callahan was ready to remind them why.